Hope you can hear me. It's good. I'm gonna invite somebody. David. Want to invite him. Come on. This is his show. I gotta do things right. Man, nobody's just.
You got it?
Yes, I got it. Everything's good. We are live. And
Awesome.
take it away. This is your show. So.
All right. All right. For those who don't know me, hello, my design dudes and dudettes. This is Design David coming to you from live from Loverland, Texas, in my college dorm in Lamar Hall. Here with me today for my first ever art chat is my good friend, Jeff and all that. Pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, a Pacific show that we both actually bond over when we first started talking to each other. You want to take it from here?
Yeah. We're here to talk about the Loud House. And I know if some of my viewers, my regular viewers, see this, they're going to roll their eyes and say, oh my gosh, we're so sick and tired of that. Go back to Jeff and Taylor. I know, I'm sorry, but this show has really changed me in a way. So
it really has changed me too. So basically, the premise of the show, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's about a boy named Lincoln Loud growing up in a house with 10 siblings and a mom and dad and a couple of pets. And I love it because the dynamic between each character is so unique that it's open to so many storytelling ideas. Don't you agree?
yeah, exactly. When it first started out, and I was kind of iffy about it, and seeing how every sibling was like a stereotype. But once I actually get to see some of the episodes, I know that the stereotypes are just that little chunk of ice on the ocean where it's just an iceberg. Oh, it's just a little iceberg. But once you know the characters, you know that iceberg is huge, and the characters are really well thought out, and they really bounce off of each other. It's like all these stereotypes and personalities. You don't see them all at once in one show, so they really do bounce off of each other. That's good writing opportunities right there.
Definitely. I mean, okay, my favorite episode that I bought from Google Play that I still watch to this day, like at least once a week, is for a show. I can't remember what it was called precisely, but it was the one where Linky goes to his first rock and roll concert with Luna Loud. I thought that was just really good storytelling right there, and it's not just for kids. It has a sense of like not adult thing, but a thing that everybody can relate to. We all been through that situation where somebody embarrasses us, where we don't want to talk to them in public, and
Exactly.
I felt like that was something I love. What's your favorite episode, like to watch constantly?
Uh, well, it changes every time a new episode comes out, but lately I really have Study Muffin as my top favorite episode.
I love that one. I just love the fact that when Lori was trying to remember Bobby's full name, she couldn't do it. Picture in front of her, but once it got deleted, she could just remember it like that. And I was like, oh my god, that is so hilarious.
I know I love the direction that they went with it. It's not your typical uh, crush storyline. It's all these girls with crushing on one guy, but the one guy has no idea what to do with him. And he just wants to be left alone. Poor
Pretty
guy.
much, and then we saw the same thing with Lincoln with his substitute teacher, and I
Mhm.
just love the scene where he figured out how to take his test in the locker. I thought that was so funny.
Mhm.
I just couldn't stop laughing when she's like she was okay with it. She was like totally cool. Was like, here, take your test. Okay, see you in 1 hour. I just thought that was so brilliantly, so well done.
Yeah, it shows that she really cares about Lincoln's education, and if that's the only way that he can take the test right, then she's more than willing to give him that test inside his locker.
Yeah, definitely. Another episode I love to watch, and this is a Ronnie Ann episode. It's Dance Dance Revolution or something like that. Is that correct?
Dance Dance, I think Resolution. Yeah.
Resolution. There we go. I tend to get these confused with actual things, but I love it. Like how four of the sisters just got dates for Lincoln and all on the same day, and I just love it how interesting like these character designs were with each of these different girls. I would figure this would have been a different direction for these four sisters if they went with these characters instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
my particular favorite thing about that episode was that he hooked up every single one of his friends with one of the sisters, and I just love it that Clyde was able to relate to the goth girl so well about unredeeming love or something like that. I just thought that was so funny. I just thought like, wow, this is something I can relate to big time.
Yeah, everything worked out for them at the end, for everybody.
I mean, technically, Ronnie and Lincoln did dance, but just not in the traditional way, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that was just like when that scene where they were about to dance, I thought they were gonna actually dance, but then they
Mhm.
were just dancing the game. And I thought it's like, that's so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. My roommate was telling me, David, breathe. I was like, it's so funny.
Yeah, it is. Another episode that I like is what was it? The football one.
Oh yeah, that one was really good. I mean, that reminds me of a lot of like '90s and like late '80s movies ideas they would have, and that was just something I was like, that's a great throwback to those eras of like sports movies for kids. I thought that was so funny. And
Yeah.
actually, quick deal, you drew stuff called the Sad Loud House, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I actually, I actually had a deja vu moment when Lynn hurt herself. And I was like, oh my god, that reminds me of that drawing you did. And I was like, oh my god, did he predict this? I was like, which one's next?
Oh, if I had that power, um, man, dreams come true. I would love to see Luann getting embarrassed in front of audiences. With the bucket falling on
I,
her.
Actually, that is something I want to bring up right now because I am a storyboard artist. I love doing storyboard and character design. And one of the ideas I had was like a episode called uh, Stage Fright, something like that. And that particularly was in like relating to your story that you did. Maybe not with the garbage pail, but something along the way, like Luann has stage fright. She never knew she has it until she gets a big opportunity to do a comedy show for the professional comedians. And I thought, why can't, why haven't they done an episode over that? Or unless they're working on it right now, because congratulations to the Loud House, they just got renewed for season 3.
I know that's amazing.
I
That's
know.
before season.
Favorite like non Loud House character. Like it can't be any of the Loud House members. It's gotta be like a side character.
Oh, could you repeat that?
Okay, who is your favorite like secondary or background character?
Oh, um, that's tough.
Yeah, it is a tough one. I was pondering on that for a while.
They're all good. I would really like to see more of the the friends of the sisters. The ones that you see in Dance Dance Resolution.
Yeah, I actually like that. Actually, my favorite secondary character is Ronnie Ann. I just feel
Mhm.
like there's a lot to do with her. Like you can bring her from being a secondary to a antagonist character really quick with a couple more stories with her and Lincoln. I feel like they should give her her own episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should, and I think they will in the coming season.
I mean,
Um,
I hope.
yeah. Although
I
I
mean,
really, well, I hope they do bring back that one guy from Study Muffin, Hugh. He should
yes.
come back.
I
And
mean, I mean, if anything, I want them to bring him back like as a joke, like a quick joke, like he sees the sisters and then he just like hides behind the bushes quickly to avoid them. I figured
yeah,
that would be something so funny, like that would be just some great joke telling right there. There's so much you could do with that.
uh-huh.
And another thing I actually like about the Loud House is the art style it has. I
Yeah.
watched a couple episodes, Nickelodeon's with Chris Savino, the creator of the Loud House, and a couple like interviews with a couple of the animators, storyboard artists, and character designers, and
Mhm.
just it's just all shapes, circles, squares, and triangles. That's all it takes. And I mean, you draw a lot of fan art for it. And is there any point like is there a character that from the Loud House that's like difficult for you to draw, like takes you a couple tries to get it right?
No, they're all pretty easy. Whenever I draw them out, but I would say the hardest one is um, probably Lola because she has a lot of her hair has to be perfect. No, she is a pageant princess. I can't make her look ugly. She has to be pretty. You know what I
That
mean?
is true. That is
And
true.
yeah.
I think the hardest character for me to draw would have to be Lori, just because the fact is her head is actually it's a mixture of a circle and a square, and if you try to do a side view of that, it's a little hard to do.
Mhm.
To me, that's the hardest character to draw. But I think, is there a favorite character you love drawing like constantly, like you're just doodling the character?
Oh, Lynn. She's she's fun to draw.
She's really fun. Mine is Luann. I just love drawing her.
Yeah, that Luann. That reminds me of the little stupid joke I drew of Luann. The Aladdin reference.
Yes, I know. I mean, I saw that. And for you, for those who are watching, go to my friend's Instagram page and all that. Can you tell them what it is for them to see the video?
Oh, oh yeah, my uh, Instagram account is just JFMstudios, um, and you'll you instantly recognize it when you see Amanda's face. This girl's face, JFM Studios. So when you go there, you'll see a video, a very short video of me recording Luann, a little sketch I drew of Luann, and, and over it is audio from the Disney movie Aladdin. It was during the part where Jafar, in an old man disguise, was like, "You've heard of the golden rule, haven't you? Whoever has the gold makes the rules." And then a big wheeze, and then his smile, his creepy smile. So I drew that creepy smile on Luann. Not exactly, but close to the style of the show, how it would look like. It's kind of a mixture, and it's just hilarious. I I try not to laugh.
I mean, it was so hard not to laugh. I'm gonna admit, I saw your story of it. I was like, I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't. I was like, this is something I would hope they take ideas from us, the fans, and
Uh-huh.
put it into the show. That's what I'm always hoping for shows. Like, take some ideas from your fan base,
Uh-huh.
not the bad part, but more of the more comedic side, because you always want your shows to be funny.
Hmm.
Another deal I want to bring up to everybody who's watching is you actually did two art commissions, like trades with me. Do you want to tell them about it?
Oh yeah. Back we first met back in like June or something, and then
Yeah.
he asked for a an art trade, and I'm like, okay, sure. He asked if I could draw um, Luna Loud in a Green Lantern chorus costume, and I did that. Did it pretty easy. It's quick. It's fun. And I asked him to draw one of my original characters, Jane, from my comic Jeff and Taylor. And a couple months later, we did another art trade. I I asked for uh, Lynn with boxing gloves and knocking out Lincoln, and he asked for Lenny dressed as the
Uh, Star Sapphire from Green Lantern.
yeah.
I
uh,
figured like something that can be continue
mhm,
with the Green Lantern Luna,
yeah.
and I thought Lenny because I was like, who can rock the pink the most? I thought it would have been Lola, but I was thinking, no, let's go with Lenny. I thought that would be something interesting to try, and you rocked it, man. I'm so impressed with him.
Yes. Thank you. And yeah, you gave
And
what?
oh no, sorry, you go.
I was about to say that you gave me your end of the art trade physically, and I'm trying to get yours. You know, it's just I have a crappy printer here, and I would have to set everything up. I plan to give you some extra things too, along with
Nice,
trades.
awesome. I am looking forward for it.
Awesome.
Another piece you recently did of the Loud House fan art, and this one actually got me. It really did. Was the Luna Loud Purple Rain you did? I love that. That was really well done. I just in your style, that was extra awesome. Because it's one thing to do it in the show style, but if you do it in your style, it means more.
Yeah, exactly. I just the way I came up with that idea, I was listening to some Prince while working, and when he was playing that guitar solo, I was thinking about, hey, maybe Luna can play a guitar solo like this. And whenever I think of that song, I think of a music video in my head, and I think of the different shades of purple and pinks and blues in the sky while it's raining. I imagine, hey, probably an emotional piece where Luna is playing the guitar, playing that song, and it's raining with this beautiful clouds of purple that I always imagined. And it took me a while to get it right. I took my time with that piece, and I'm happy with it. It's one of my personal favorites. It's one of the very best things I've drew this year, and I'm glad people loved it.
I mean, I love it. I mean, let me ask you a question. Did you like just thought it would be a cool idea just because Luna wears purple all the time? That was my first question when I first saw that. Was like, did he do this on purpose because she wears purple? Besides the guitar deal.
Yes, I also thought about the purple, and I thought, hey, it's too convenient. I got to draw this.
I mean, it's you gotta do it. I mean, that's the way to do it, and that's a great tribute to Prince, who sadly passed away earlier this year. Which God rest his soul. But I think this was a great tribute piece to him. I mean, if he was here today, he would probably be laughing at it in a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see what else. Do you have any like? projects like for the Loud House fan art that you're working on that you can tell everybody right now?
Yes, I'm drawing the. I'm pairing up characters together, and I'm drawing them in my style. I already drew Lori and Lenny, and I drew Luna and Luann together. Up next is Lynn and Lucy. Then I'm going to draw Lincoln and Clyde, and then Lola and Lana, and Lisa and Lily. That's one.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, for those again, check out his Instagram page. I mean, that's and your DeviantArt page as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely go follow him because I mean the your style is so unique in its way. It's I feel like I have a sense, probably probably say early '90s Nickelodeon style mixed with more modern day pop art. I feel like that's how it feels like to me, and I was like, because to be honest, I stumbled upon your page looking for Loud House fan art, and the one I found was the Loud House Powerhouse pictures you
uh,
did. And the one that I actually liked was the Luna one, where she's just rocking the guitar and all that. I was like, "Who's this guy?" And then I started liking all your posts. Then I follow you, and then next thing you know, we start talking, and then we did the art trades.
yeah. I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're an amazing artist, and you're also a very well known comic book artist in your town and probably in your state, right?
Uh, Getting close to it, maybe. I don't know. Speaking of which, I am going to a local convention. I'm going to be selling stuff November 11th and 12th. I just got the confirmation today, so.
That's awesome. I mean, that's really awesome. Quick question. Would you be willing to go to Lubbock, Texas for a convention in next May during Memorial Day
Uh, I,
weekend?
no, I could try. Definitely. Next May.
Definitely, because I will be actually out there for those who are watching this. This will actually be my first time selling at a convention and all that, instead of just attending. So this is going to be my first convention that I'm going to be selling my artwork, selling original pieces and all that. So, I mean, come down and see me, and if you can make it, man, it will be actually pretty cool that we can hang out and all that.
Yeah. Are all the tables filled up?
Right now they're still in the early phases. It's called Lubicon. Just check it out on Facebook and all that, and contact the people running it. I know them personally, so I can talk to them. But just go ahead and contact them. And for those of you watching, if you are in the West Texas area and South Plains area and all that, come on by. It's Memorial Day weekend. If you're a veteran, I hear you guys are going to get a discount or you get it for free. So pretty much, a big thank you to all our men and women who serve our country. So, um, okay, back to the topic of what we were talking about. Um, One of the things that strike me to be important about the Loud House is that I noticed Nickelodeon is going back towards more to their cartoons than their live sitcom deal. Do you believe in that?
Yeah. Um, I've noticed that. Like no matter what people say, I always say that Loud House saved Nickelodeon from falling behind in the modern cartoons. Basically, the channels for kids. Right? Last year, Nickelodeon was in last place. I mean, Disney was on top with Gravity Falls, and Cartoon Network had Steven Universe, and now Nickelodeon came back. Thank goodness they had Chris Savino because they had they asked him to do the shorts program, and that's when he made Loud House, and then they picked it up, and it saved him. Really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, congratulations, Mr. Savino. A funny thing I heard about from an interview I heard from him is that the original concept was rabbits. They were all going to be rabbits. There were going to be 26 of them. You heard about that, right?
Yeah, and
And
when I heard about that, I was like, no.
and it was actually good that he changed the concept because now look at it. It's one of the hottest shows on Nickelodeon, and it just got renewed for a third season. And to me, it hasn't even finished season two, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, I don't think they finished season 2, but wow.
Let me ask you a question. How many seasons do you think the show will get in its runtime?
I'm gonna aim for 7.
Seven. That's actually what I'm thinking, like 7 to 8. Because, like I said at the beginning, it's a show that has a lot of dynamics that it's open to a lot of great, storytelling and episodes you can do with it. And the one thing I love about the show is, and this pertains to like modern cartoon now, they have a continuing story where it's stretched throughout the whole show, like Steven Universe, Adventure Time, Gravity Falls. It's like it all stretches over. While the Loud House, on one hand, it's just a bunch of random ideas. Sometimes they'll mix with each other, but it's just like you know, it's not one story. It's a bunch of different stories you could just love, and not just like, oh, what happened to this character, or what part of the story did I miss? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. They sort of go back to a status quo, seeing that where basically anybody can watch any episode and they would get it. Um, it of course there are some pieces of continuity. It's like you wouldn't know um, Ronnie Ann if you haven't watched Heavy Metal. You know that one episode,
Yeah.
which I like. I prefer some continuity in my stories and
Who
character development.
doesn't? One of the things I like about the continuity in the Loud House is it's like it's not in your face. It's kind of subtle. Like with the whole Ronnie Ann situation with Lincoln, and then the whole Bobby and Lori deal. It's like a constant gag that will keep going on in the show, but it's not like it's there all the time where they overuse it. It's more like they pick where they want to put it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is. Um, what else? I mean, I do like the continuity junk. Character development is something that I really like, and I think, I mean, I'm hoping if a character changes, then they change for the rest of the series. Like, for example, that episode, A Tattler's Tale. Yeah, when Lola
Hmm.
is like trying not to. Well, she learned her lesson not to blackmail her siblings anymore by tattletaling on them, and it's pretty. That one scene had some heart, and I really hope they keep it consistent, because if they go back to the status quo where Lola is back to being a tattletale, then what does that say to the rest of their heartfelt moments? It's like we don't take them seriously anymore. I hope they don't go in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, that was a very heartful moment. I mean, if you watch that episode, you would agree that, yeah, we've been in that situation. Even if you weren't being blackmailed, but if you had a tattletale sibling like I had, I mean, yeah, you figure that's how it would go out, which it does a lot of times. Probably another heartful moment for me during the show was where Lincoln was telling Ronnie Ann how much she was pretty great at the restaurant, and then he kisses her, and I was like, I was like that. the entire time that scene was playing out, my brother was looking at me. It's like, what happened? I was like, Lincoln kissed Ronnie Ann. And he was like, so I was like, you don't know how big this is gonna get.
Yeah, it looked like they were gonna start a relationship. I mean, as far as fifth graders are concerned, relationship. but but after that kissing scene, it turns out they're just close friends right now, rather than boyfriend and girlfriend.
I mean, I started noticing a little bit more of Ronnie Ann having feelings for Lincoln in the April Fool episode, where she
Yeah.
turns on Luann. Instead of throwing the pie at Lincoln, she throws it at Luann.
Hmm.
And all because Lincoln actually took all the pranks just so Ronnie Ann would not get pranked when she comes over. And I thought that was like, oh,
Yeah.
he actually cares for her, like not like romantically, but deeply, like as a fifth grader would.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing that he did. But speaking of which, I want to talk about a little bit about that episode, the April Fool's episode. After that, after that aired, a lot of people hated Luann. Were you one of those guys that?
No, actually, I wasn't. I was hoping for an April Fool's episode. Once I saw Luann and saw how her character is, I was like, they're going to make an April Fool episode one of these days. I didn't think it would be this soon, but
Mhm.
this is the first I'm hearing about people actually hated on her. Actually,
Yeah.
you want to explain on that, just for anybody who's kind of confused right now on that.
Okay. In the episode April Fool's Rules, that is the episode where Luann. It's focused on her and Lincoln mostly, but she is she kind of takes a left turn in her characterization, as in she's not herself. She's more antagonistic in this episode, where she just basically set up traps and pranks, Home Alone style traps and then sets it off on her family members, even her pets. It shows a little bit flashback where she shaves the hair off of her pets, and they're like scared of her. And after that whole episode where she kind of terrorizes her family, people are like, "I hate Luann. She is such a blah blah." And I don't know, it kind of made me hope for the kind of drama I wanted. I'm desperate for drama. That's why I draw those sad outhouse things. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I'm cool with Luann. It's like made me get some more ideas. Like, what happens if she pulls a really bad prank on Lily, the baby? But I won't go into that. But still, that one episode just kind of made her look bad. And then for the last few new episodes that happened last week, everybody just forgot about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think another deal that reminds me of this episode was that episode where the family got together to be a band, and how Luna was just being like a dictator in the band, kind of like everything's got to be right for McSwagger and all that, and
Yeah.
how she was just like a bully pretty much to everybody. Like she even fired her dad. I mean, that's kind of cold, but you know, I figured that that episode reminds me a little bit of how how the April Fool's one was when I first saw the April Fool rules, and that's pretty much something I know. I'm starting to notice what they do with some of their characters. It's kind of like at first when you first meet them in the beginning of the series, they start to change a little bit, or really show them a different side of them. Like with Lola, how she's always like tattling, like trying to be the queen of everything. Now she's starting to understand like that, being tattletale, being spoiled, it's not all right. And then you start noticing these other characters like Luann, like how she just seems kind of harmless, and now she's like a James Bond villain. When that scene with the chair, I was like James Bond reference right there. It was
Mhm.
right there. And then with Luna, how she was like all cool and chill, and now she's like all mean and bully like. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's actually like great character development skills right there.
Exactly. That episode, House Music, is up there in my favorites because because it's all focused on her, and it's the first episode where Lincoln really doesn't talk to the audience.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean that's pretty much how it is. Another episode that I actually like that's in my top three besides the rock and roll one would have to be the recent one with the gender bend.
Yeah.
That was so crazy, and it was all a dream, or at least you seem to think it was. But it was so crazy how they could change the appearance of all the girls.
Hmm.
And I mean, give it up for the character developers on that. I mean, that's some great skills right there to know how to do that.
Yeah.
And what I love about it, especially it was in the end where Lincoln thinks he got back to his home dimension to only find out he's a girl and he's stuck with the boys.
Hmm.
And I just love how they just kind of just gave him hair, just longer hair, and that's it. And lipstick, pretty much. I just love how they were like, okay, we changed all the boys pretty drastically. Let's go to Lincoln. Okay, let's just give him hair. That's it.
Long hair and
I just pretty much. I was like, wow. I mean, to be honest, if that was me, I would have done the same thing. To be honest.
hmm.
And another thing I like about drawing the Loud House is the fact is you can just put yourself in the show and nobody would notice.
Yeah.
Like I noticed, like a bunch of the show's workers are in the episodes and all that. I
Yeah.
mean, if you go to Instagram and follow the official Wow House page, they will let you know that yeah, if you see what their workers look like in the style, you'll see them in the show.
Yep. I noticed that too. It shows that they're like really into the show and they're fans of it themselves. So they even want to be in it, you know?
Yeah, who doesn't? A thing that let me ask you a question actually.
Sure.
If you would put yourself in, let's just say, one of the episodes, like if you can rewrite the episode and put yourself in it as either a protagonist, antagonist, or a background character, which one would it be?
Uh, which episode? Man, that's hard. There's so many good ones. Let's see. I would. What episode was it? There was it's like an episode where that kind of frustrated me, and I just want to fix things. Let's see. There's a list here. I wrote this list a long time ago. Huh? Case. Hmm. Oh, I would really put myself in the Project Loud House, the one where Lincoln had that diorama project. I
Oh
would be in
yeah,
there. I would go in there just to save the thing from being crushed.
I know, right? I mean, the episode I would put myself in, and this one was a toughie for me. This was between my favorite episode, the rock and roll one, and also the other one would be the money one, where they're fighting over the money. But if I would think of myself, I would do the rock and roll one, and I would just probably put myself as a background character that's in the line, pretty much. And
Yeah.
oh my god, I mean, I don't see myself as a major Loud House character. I see myself as just being in the background, but I want to see myself in multiple places,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And let me ask you a question. Had you ever drawn yourself in the Loud House style?
Once in my sketchbook. I probably have it. I probably don't. I don't see my sketchbook anywhere, so I can't show it now. But yeah, I drew it once. Um, yeah, I drew myself in Loud House style once. It looks terrible. I might do it again.
You know, it's always good to redo things. If you don't like it the first time, you can always redo it and make it more better.
Yeah.
And the way I draw myself in the Loud House style is pretty much I have a baseball cap, square glasses, and a big beard. That's pretty much how I draw myself. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram like you do, you've probably seen it already.
Yeah. Yeah. What wasn't it your icon for a while?
It was my icon for a while, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was probably my icon for probably say the first season of the Loud House, and then I change it like every once in a while just to keep it fresh, updated, and all that.
Mhm. Now I
Let's
got a
see.
question for you.
Okay.
What? Okay, and this is probably going to be hard. What is your least favorite episode?
Oh, that is a tough one. I think my least favorite episode would have to be the one where the the two boys and the baby.
That is my least favorite as well.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I mean I get the episode. I mean it's supposed to be like to me it had a Home Alone feel to it, you know, where just Link is watching the baby, but also it felt like to me it felt kind of flat, you know. The story felt flat. And you know, I'm not dissing on anybody who worked on the episode, saying, "Oh, this was the worst episode." I'm just saying the story felt kind of flat. It could have been updated or at least pushed a little bit more. But to me, that kind of felt a little flat. I think the one thing that I liked about it was at the end where they got chicken pox and Lincoln got stuck with the ant all weekend.
Hmm.
I thought that was
I,
the one best part.
yeah. I kind of felt like the chickenpox gag was a little bit of a cop out to me. It's like they wrote themselves into a corner. Like, okay, how do we punish Lincoln this time? Oh, let's just give him chickenpox out of nowhere.
I mean, I can see what you mean on that. I mean, definitely, it does feel like they just kind of ran themselves in the corner with the story. But to me, it was probably the best solution in a not so well episode.
Yeah,
So
I hear you.
yeah, pretty much. Um, do you have another question for me? You know?
Another question. How did
Yeah.
you become? Huh?
Oh, sorry.
All right. How in the world did you become friends with Chris Savino on Facebook?
I mean, I just kind of found him on Facebook and friended him and all that. And actually, we did talk probably twice. Actually, I
Yeah.
talked to him two times on Facebook and all that. First, I was telling him how much I love the show and all that, and you know, he was just saying, you know, oh, thank you very much. And then the second time, I was kind of talking to him about, which was actually recently, was just kind of like, is there any openings for the Loud House or just in Nickelodeon in general? And he was like, pretty much, you know, just there might be an opening soon. It's not because somebody's getting fired. It's just because since they get renewed for the third season, they're probably expanding their like office or something. You know, their team force to do more episodes. Because like we said earlier, I feel like there should be like 7 to 8 seasons, and the same thing with you. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's room for more people to come in with. Because the way I see it is, if you bring in a fan that's just not going to write like dirty fanfics, but more like really good, clean stories, that's how it. That's how you can improve a show. If you take it from the fans' point of view, that is going to bring the show up a whole new level. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. One second, folks. Well, okay, well, technically right now we are having some technical difficulties, if this thing's still live. Basically, my channel is Design David. It's Dezign and then David. For those who are like big fans of and all that, just definitely go, check me out. And I'm not saying follow me, I'm just saying check me out. I mean, every view helps. I am trying to currently move out to California to become a storyboard artist or character designer. Um, yeah, and all that fun stuff. Pretty much another thing I like about cartoons in general is just you could do so much with the characters, and it'd be so fun to do. Um, yeah, actually, I don't know how long you can record on Hangout. I don't know, but I guess you can record for a while. Um, I guess while Jeff is getting his technical difficulties taken care of, um, I don't know. I could probably try to like tell you guys like a little bit about myself if you don't know me already. Um, my name's David, aka Design David. I've been on YouTube for about 2 years now, but very rarely do I get on just camera problems. I do this by my phone, which is how we're recording the video, or this live hangout. Another thing is I'm a cartoonist. You guys already know. Okay, I just got a message from Jeff. Let me see. Apparently something went wrong where you got cut off. That's not good. Um, yeah, the thing is why I want to talk about the Loud House, especially with Jeff, is the fact that I feel like this show is actually, I'm not just saying it as a fanboy, I'm actually saying it as a cartoonist, that this show is important to Nickelodeon as it's bringing it back to, um, back to its former days, like in the 90s. Let me see. Let's see if he is getting this taken care of. Ooh, we are at nearly an hour. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're just experiencing some, like I said, some technical difficulties. You know how technology is, Nothing against technology that's great. It's just once in a while it just messes up on you. Um, Let me see if I can fix this. Um, okay, we're probably gonna have to cut this off, but we'll resume in just a second. So, okay. Okay, did we get it?
Yeah. Everything's good, right?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you?
Yeah. Wait. So what happened? Did I leave?
Yeah, it says you left, actually.
So I don't know what happened. Is my my freaking web browser just was choked on me. It just crashed for some reason.
Oh, okay. I was actually just kind of like, if anybody was watching this live stream, I would just kind of explain to them who I was and also what was the importance of this chat. To me, it was, as a cartoonist standpoint, it's important that Nickelodeon is getting back to its roots.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I
Okay.
feel like Nickelodeon is trying to do.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry, I'm just a bit shaken because I don't want the whole recording to be lost. Um,
Oh yeah, that would be terrible, actually. But sometimes that things happen. It's out of our control. That's how it is.
yeah. Well, I hope it's still recording. It's just that it had me out and had you.
Yeah, it had you out. It still said live on mine, so we're still good.
Okay. I hope
Okay.
so.
I hope so
Games.
too. All right. Weren't you about to ask me a question, actually?
Uh, I don't know. You were talking about Cursivino and talking about openings.
Oh, yes, yes. He was saying like there might be some openings soon. And for me, to anybody who wants to do cartoons, animation, character designs, and all that, build a portfolio of both digital and handmade work. To me, that's important, showing that you're a versatile artist, that you're just not just stuck to one thing, but you can do both, pretty much. Don't you agree?
Yeah, exactly. I
Definitely.
can.
Were you
Yeah.
gonna say something?
Oh no, I was gonna say that you're so lucky to know the guy. To actually talk to him. I mean, I kind of chatted with him on Instagram, just through comments. Saying the only interaction I had with him was like months ago, saying that, "Hey Chris, I know this is unrelated to the picture, but I heard there are some forest fires in the Los Angeles area. I just hope you and your family are okay." And then he responded, "Hey, thanks for your concern. Things are good on our end, but well, let's just hope this fire gets contained." And that's it.
I mean, it's good to be concerned. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I did talk to him about openings and all that. I mean, there might be some openings for storyboard artists, which I want to do.
Mhm.
Especially pitching the idea of that Luann episode that I've been working on. And for those of you who don't know what storyboarding is, it's like we map out what the images will look like for the animators. That way they're not confused and all that, like what to do. So pretty much it goes writers, the storyboard artists, and then, and then there's like cleanup artists, and then there's like animators and all that. So pretty much what we are very important to this pitch is like showing the animators what to animate and what to recreate.
Yeah, that is a pretty
And
important job.
oh, sorry.
Oh, it's cool.
Okay. Pretty much with the this Luann episode I've been working on for at least since August. I've been working on this since August, and pretty much it's taking quite a bit of my time to do this episode because I got to do it movement by movement. Pretty much that's how we do it,
Hmm.
just so the animators know like which way the characters are going to look, move, and all that. So for anybody who's watching and that watches any kind of animation, that's pretty much what we do. Is to map out the movements, pretty much.
Yeah, and I've heard that it takes 6 weeks to storyboard one episode.
That is with that is true. in the professional setting. Me, since I'm doing this on my own time and I'm a college student and all that, it's taken a little bit longer due to the fact that I have school as well. And one of the things that, separates me from the professionals is that I do this on my own time. I do this on my free will. They do this not just for a paycheck, but more the fact that this is what they do for a living. They have more experience than I do.
Mhm. Yeah, that is a cool occupation to have. Very stable.
It
More
it
stable,
really is.
more stable than being a freelance cartoonist, self-publishing. You know.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's really cool that you're self-published. Let's take a break from talking about the Loud House and let's talk about Jeff and Taylor, since this is something. This is your bread and butter right here, right? So if you want to like explain to everybody like the premise of your comic.
Okay. All right. Basically, my comic, Jeff and Taylor, you see images in the back. Those are the characters. And basically, it's a comic series about two teenage boys and misadventures. It follows not only their crazy lives, but lives of their friends too. You'll see them in the not only in the big episodes, but in the mini quickies too. Um, you will find everything in this comic in every genre. You'll find comedy, horror, uh, romance, um, bromance, corn and the cob, all of those things. Yeah. But I really like you go through a journey with these guys. It's a series. It's a series that's meant to have a beginning, middle, and end, and you'll see how much they've grown, how much they impact the lives of their friends and even their enemies. There are villains in this comic, most notably the main antagonist, Team Starhammer, which is like a little parody of Team Rocket from Pokemon. Only these guys, they just do random crimes for their whatever purpose they have. I'll reveal it soon. And just recently, I released issue 12, which features a hot substitute teacher, but um, I won't spoil anything. You'd have to go to jeffandtaylorcomic.com and read episode 12, Ninja Nonsense, to understand that big storyline. So, so yeah, that Jeff and Taylor is my baby. I've been working on it for a long time. I've had the premise of the whole series. Like I made it around freshman year of high school, and here I am today, still working on it. And I've self-published some books. Here, the fourth one is on its way, but I have three of them. Here we
All right,
go.
there you go, folks. You got Jeff and Taylor, 1, 2, and 3, and 4 on the way, right?
That's right.
Let me ask you a question. This is actually both a Loud House and Jeff and Taylor question. Would you, if you were given the opportunity, would you like make a Loud House comic, like a one-shot issue deal, featuring your characters?
Uh, yeah, I'll do that. I mean, if it's something for fun, then I'll just take my time with it. But if it's something that Nickelodeon wants me to do, then hell yeah, I'll do it.
Definitely. I mean, I remember when the show first came out, Chris Savino did a comic for the limited edition San Diego Comic Con Loud House comic, which was limited to I think 5,000 prints. So it's very limited. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a copy because I didn't go. But eventually I'll get my hands on one, or probably I'll ask him if he can prep me out another.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I have more experience in cartoons, and you have more experience in comics. But to
Yeah.
me, comics are like something that can be a great way to tell stories from both cartoons and comics point of view because you got comics like Adventure Time, Steven Universe. They have comic book series. Recently, Star versus the Forces of Evil just started their own comic book line.
Mhm.
So I would not be surprised if Nickelodeon starts doing a Loud House comic. Maybe not an ongoing series, but more like a mini series, pretty much. And I would love it if like each issue is about a sister or a relative in the family. That would be so cool.
Yeah, you probably heard this, but they are gonna release a Loud House graphic novel next May.
Oh my God. No, I did not.
Yes, you
Oh
can
my,
pre-order it on Amazon.
I, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to pre-order it. Do you know what the premise is?
No, not really. It's all I know is the title and it shows the front cover, which it's probably the final cover. It's probably just a placeholder cover, but it's called uh, the Loud House Fuller House.
That's just sounds like it's gonna be really great for all fans of all ages. I mean, the show just really shows you like to me the big idea of the show is be who you are. Because all these sisters may be stereotypes of one thing, but they are true to who they are, pretty much. Don't you agree?
Yes, I do. It's it definitely is one of those shows that's self-aware and just wants to teach lessons, but at the same time, it's they're not terribly preachy on their lessons. So I really appreciate that.
I appreciate it too. I mean, the one thing that I appreciate above all of the Loud House is just it shows kids and even shows anybody really of any age that you can be whoever you want to be and don't let anybody like tell you otherwise. Cause look at these sisters. Like you got one that wants to be a pageant queen, you got the other one who wants to be a tomboy plumber, and then
Hmm.
so on and so forth. And pretty much that's how they are. They're not letting anything tell them no, you can't be that.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is. That's how we should approach life. How we should treat others.
I mean that's pretty much how I would see it, and I think that's how a lot of other fans probably not our age, but well maybe our age would see it too, but more of like a younger generation will not notice it at first, but they will grasp onto the concept pretty quickly, I believe.
Yeah.
And another thing about the Loud House that I seem to think is probably the biggest thing that makes them different from any other cartoon, it's just, the impressive cast they have. I mean, pretty much you got, I can't remember her name, but her name is like, forgive me if I butcher it, but Jessica DeCaco or something like that. She voices Lucy,
Yeah.
and she voices a couple of other characters. But one my favorite role that she's done so far is Flying Princess from Adventure Time. She voices that character, and when I figure out that she would actually, that's the thing that got me into the Loud House. Was like when I heard this actress was gonna play this character, I was like, you know what? I enjoyed her work in Adventure Time. I want to see what she could do in this show, and the rest is history.
Yeah. So is that how you got into it? Like the other question I wanted to ask is like how you got into the show, like how you first heard of it.
Well, I mean, besides the actress, the other way I heard about it was I was watching some San Diego Comic Con stuff, when they were broadcasting live, and one of the things they brought up was the Loud House for the Nickelodeon panel. Like they brought out Chris Savino, and he was talking about the show, and they showed a little clip of it from the episode, the Hand Me Down episode, and I thought that's so cool. I might want to watch it. And then when I heard the actress, my favorite actress, was going to be in there, I was like, oh my God, now I gotta watch it even more. I want to see what she can do in this show. And you know what? She hasn't disappointed. She brought Lucy to life, like as the gothic girl she is. And I thought that was so cool. I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest show on Nickelodeon. And
Yeah,
that's how I got into it.
yeah.
How did you get into it?
Oh, I explained this in my other channel when I first did that review video, but I will say it again. All right, I was I was noticing some fan art from this one guy I follow, SB99, um, and he's been drawing some, the Loud House stuff. And at first, I thought those were his characters, and I thought it was like an original idea of his. And I'm like, whoa, this is pretty cool. You made this up? And he's like, nope, this is from Nickelodeon's new show that's coming up, Loud House. I'm like, oh, okay. So I put it off for a couple months, and I didn't watch it until the bathroom short around April or something like that. And I'm like, meh. And then I looked at more and more fan art from him. I'm like, okay, I'll try this. I'll try out this show. So I looked it up on YouTube, and thankfully there are some episodes on YouTube. I watched one. All right, it's cool. It's okay. Watched another one. All right, it's pretty awesome now. Those characters are cute. Then watched another one, and I'm like, my gosh, me, who's hard to please, I am in love with this show. Can't believe it. And here I am making lots of fan art, and here's the thing: I almost never make fan art of anything, except for Gravity Falls here and there, because I'm mostly focused on my own stuff. But now I'm just drawing more and more Loud House.
I mean,
It's
that's the way to do it. For me, the first thing that I draw as a fan art, which is a little sketch card of Lucy. It's a quick, like, 5-minute sketch, and I thought when I first figured out the actress who was playing her, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do her character real quick. And then next thing you know, I did a portrait of myself, and actually Chris Savino himself liked it because it was really good. Like he didn't comment on my page, but when I saw he liked it, and then the official Loud House page liked it, I was like, oh my God. But I guess they were just liking anything at that point because they were like starting up. But I am
Mhm.
still trying to be on their fan art Fridays. I am still working on that.
Yeah. Um, that is pretty cool. I mean, Chris Savino liked a couple of my works as well. All right. The very first thing was the Super Lenny picture with her other glowing glasses. I
Yes.
noticed that I noticed that Nickelodeon's Instagram page commented on it, and I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. Nickelodeon actually noticed it. And then Chris Savino himself liked my Super Luann picture, and I noticed that one morning, and my jaw dropped. Like, oh my gosh, he noticed it. He noticed me. He knows I exist. And he liked a few others of mine. He liked my Luna in the Green Lantern costume. He liked that one. But lately he hasn't liked anything. But mostly because he's probably busy. But I sometimes like to joke around with myself, saying that you know he probably doesn't like me anymore because of I drew those sad Loud House pictures. You know, there's just I don't know what if I were to show him that, I don't know what he'll think. I don't know what he'll say. He'll be like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Let me ask you a question based on those sad ones. I have like a few questions of my own, and I probably bet the people who are watching this have some of their own as well. First one is like what drove you to make the sad ones? Not saying they're not well done. I think they're pretty well done, and the story behind them are pretty good. I just wonder like what prompted you to do those?
Well, I've been doing sad fan art since Gravity Falls. I've done two, no, three. I've done three. of the Gravity Falls, and I'm like, I don't know. I have this kind of fascination of these happy characters going through something real or something traumatic. Nothing too traumatic, but something that kind of makes me wonder. Okay, they're happy-go-lucky characters. How can they? How can I imagine that they can go through a certain obstacle, like a broken leg or a precious item of theirs broken, hurting another sister or a loved one, I guess, um, or getting into something, a real situation. But like with my Luna one, I made her throw up by drinking alcohol because I'm like, okay, if she's going to be a rock star, she's going to have to go through some real stuff that rock stars go through, like drugs and alcohol. But I decided to go with the more tame stuff and say alcohol because, you know, rock stars go through even harder stuff. But Luna, you know, I'm just wondering. It's all curiosity, my morbid curiosity. But at the same time, I'm not I'm not a complete sadist to these characters. Like, I don't do anything completely terrible or tragic to them. That's why I spared Lily, the baby, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything to her. She's just a baby. Besides, she went through enough on that Come Sail Away episode when she's missing her blankie. I think that's dramatic enough for her. So
Yeah,
that's it.
definitely. And this is next one is a two-part question regarding to those pieces. The first one is, which one was the hardest one to write for, and the second one, which one was the easiest to write for?
All right. The hardest one to write for was Lenny's because she went through a kind of questionable relationship with some shady guy. And I'm like, okay, what's going to happen next? I had to rewrite a lot of things because the first draft, it was going to be, okay, this guy went out with Lily because she's kind of ditzy and dumb. He thought that she would be um, an easy girlfriend for him. And then he just like cut it off with her because she's too dumb. And then he insults her, and then she's sad. But I'm like, okay, I got to rewrite this. And this was all while I'm uploading it on DeviantArt because I make up the story on the spot. That's how it is. That's the hardest. The easiest was Lucy's, and my favorite, because I was in just scary stories mode. Just like Alan Swartz, just writing it. And I imagine George S. Irving narrating it. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. It's great stuff. Lucy was easy. And yeah.
Okay. Okay. Your favorite one was Lucy, you said, right? Okay, my next question regarding to those pieces is, which one was the most toughest to draw?
Toughest as in just getting it right technically, or just tough for my emotions.
Pretty much, let's say emotions, pretty much. Like, which one was the toughest one to draw emotionally?
Uh, I don't know. I would say the one with Lola and Lana. Yeah, because when I drew Lana, holding her arm and she's screaming in pain, I'm like, oh, do I really want to do this? And I'm like, okay, I guess that I have no choice. I went this far, and then I just continued on it, and a lot of my followers on DeviantArt love that picture. They say it's their favorite, so I'm like, okay, no regrets. Lana will be fine. Come on.
I think my favorite story slash art piece that you did was actually Lanny's. I love the story on that. And I figured
Yeah.
that was something that she would definitely get into. Probably not in the entire same sense, but I figured that's something that I could see really happening in the show at least once.
Mhm.
and I just love how in all the other ones, they are all like in pain, like say more physical. Like
Yeah.
Lori, she got in the car crash. Lynn, she broke her leg. Um, Luna, she threw out like from over drinking and all that. But Lanny, she like there was nothing like physically wrong with her, just emotionally wrong with her.
Yeah.
I thought that was probably one of my favorites you've done.
Hmm.
So good work on that. I mean, it's just really good. And then the story that went with it, I was like, I remember where I was when I read it. I took my sister to a nail salon so she could get ready for homecoming. And I read it, just sitting right there waiting for her to get done. And I reread it like 5 times just to make sure, like, am I reading this right? And I was like, man, this is a good story. I told my sister, you gotta read this. She was like, no. I was like, ah, you suck.
Yeah. But
But
yeah. Yeah. But thanks
let
for
me.
like.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say thanks for liking them.
Oh, you're welcome. Let me see. I do have one more question based on the sad ones you did. And this was actually refers to a video you actually recently did on your other channel.
Yeah.
Okay, based on the. Um, okay, to be honest, I did see that sad house video. I did see it. Basically, it had every single sad one you did, plus some other people's works. But to me, I felt like the video wasn't was my question is actually, did it hurt or did it not hurt your work, like your credibility as an artist?
It probably did more harm than good. Uh,
Mm.
I I left a comment saying that, hey, I drew those. And out of all the responses I've got, only two of them were positive. There were some people that was practically calling me names, calling me crazy, which I don't care. They don't hurt me, but still, I'm just kind of surprised how they're just so invested into this show, and I know I'm invested too. That's why I drew fan art. But these guys, they just have to resort to insults and saying that one guy wrote in the comment section, not responding to me, but he said that the sad Outhouse stuff is worse than Outhouse, than Lewd House, Rule 34 of the show. I'm
Mm.
like, come on, this guy, that's not true at all. He's exaggerating, and I can't take him seriously. And what
I
my,
mean, I mean, you
you
can't
know,
really take them seriously.
yeah, it's like what I always say, if you have critics or haters, you just gotta listen to them and keep it moving. Just do what you do. Don't really respond to them because I guess that's what they want. Because whether they're concerned people or trolls, it's really not worth it to respond to them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess it did more harm than good, but I don't mind. It can still be up there. I'm not gonna ask them to take it down.
Nah, in the end, it's kind of like a propaganda for you because, say, for me personally, I had no problem with your sad house drawings. To me, I look at it as a cartoonist and an artist. So to me, they're like it's a piece of art. There's worse pieces of art out there. Like you said, there's that Rule 34 stuff out there. That's
Mhm.
worse than your sad house stuff. I don't know where that guy got the idea that your stuff is worse than that. To me, I think your stuff is more tame than that other stuff. And
Yeah,
I'm like, why? Why is there stuff like that? But I guess it's the internet.
yeah,
Anything can show them. But to me, I had no problem with yours as because you had great visual telling. You had a great story that went with each one of them, that you took the time to like to tell and all that. While the guys who make the Rule 34 sub have no story to tell; they just draw it.
Yep.
That's it, just to make a buck.
Mhm.
And I'm like, to me. I know that's kind of art, but to me, it's just not the right kind of art.
Yeah, that's right. And there's these forums on. It's like I think the Loud House has its own little forum. It's kind of like 4chan or something like that. But they feature my art there without me knowing, and it's like my art is like being mixed in with the Rule 34 and the weird shippings and all that. It's like, and then I've seen comments, these weirdos commenting on my stuff saying that I have a messed up head because I drew uh, Lisa crying or something like that. So I don't know these guys.
I mean, it's crazy. It really is. Um, Pretty much. Um, Let me see. What was I gonna say? I just lost my train of thought. The one thing that separates your art from their art, it's just probably storytelling. Because anybody can probably draw that pornography stuff and
Mhm.
just make a few bucks. You took your time with more of a dramatic view and just made a great story out of it. I mean, I applaud you. Just for making a great story. You made me feel with the Lenny one. I was like, yeah, I could see that happening, and I've been through that situation before. So, I mean, props. That's just props right there.
Yeah, you said if you had one episode to make, if you were in the crew, it would be that stage fright one. I would say if I were to be there and write an episode, it would have to be Lenny being used by a guy. Of course, it would have to be a bit more tame than mine, but still, Lenny with a not so caring boyfriend, and then she learns a lesson at the end, and the boyfriend gets his comeuppings by the rest of the siblings. I think I think that's the kind of story I would like to write.
I mean, definitely. Another thing I wanted to ask you regarding to YouTube and fan made stuff is, have you ever seen this one called this fan made parody, the Loud House parody where Linkus goes through puberty? Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I've seen it. That's made by SB99, the guy who
Oh,
kind of.
okay, yes. Okay, now I remember. But yeah, I actually, to be honest, I actually liked it because I figured this is something that could actually happen in this show.
Mhm.
Like probably like some scenes were probably may not make it on TV, but it seems like something that maybe like just a funny, quirky deal. I mean, I just love how this person just kind of took a concept idea, like a general on puberty, and just roll with it. And I just love how I just love it. It's just really that funny.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, Let me see. What else? Quick question on the Green Lantern slash Loud House deal. Were you thinking of doing any more of those? Even if I don't ask you to do them, were you thinking of doing any more of them? Kind of like continuing like a series with them?
Not really. Um,
Not really.
no, I mean, if you want it, I'll do it. But on my own terms, uh, no, not really. It's just I'm not really that into DC comics. You know, I'm more of a Marvel guy. No.
I mean, we all have our own choices, so I'm not blaming you. I mean,
Oh,
I've been kind of pondering for the longest time, like which Loud House character can work for each lantern.
mhm.
And actually, right now, I would like to ask you if you could do one more to just make like a trio of them.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll do.
okay. The one I thinking that could probably work the best is if we got Luann as a trying to remember which color did I want her as. I may want to see her as a Blue Lantern
Hmm.
because I feel like if we got just cool colored characters, like we got Lenny as pink and we got Luna as green. I would love to see Luann as a Blue Lantern, but I feel like she should say like a funny blue joke, um, like um, like I guess I'm the blue girl instead of the blue man.
Yep. Or something like it's like a it's like an old comedy thing that they it's a comedy term, working blue, which is basically adding swears to your jokes. Adult humor. That's working blue. Um,
That can work.
she can do that.
Let me ask you another question regarding to like fan art series and all that. Would you ever do a Marvel slash Loud House fan series?
I might like the different characters dressed as different superheroes. I might do that. You never
I
know.
mean, probably the first thing that comes to mind with these characters is that Luann adds Loki.
Uh,
I was thinking her as Loki because Loki is known as the trickster god, like the god who plays tricks on you, and
uh,
she's the April Fool's queen. So I figured that would have been something funny to do. Just giving you some ideas and out there.
yeah, those are some. I might do that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I just might do that.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me, regarding, art and anything like that with the Loud House or in general?
Um, I don't know. Well, I do have a question about your own work. Do you have like a original series that you have in mind, like original characters?
Yes, actually, thank you for asking. I am currently working on two ideas for like anime pilots. One of them is called Johnny Spook, which is about a paranormal detective who is really bad at his job, who is constantly afraid of the supernatural beings he deals with every day. And I figure that just makes a great conflict right there. He's a paranormal detective, but he's also scared of what he does as well, like
Mhm.
constantly. Another one I'm working on, and this one I've actually been working on for a year. It's called My Guardian Angel. It's about a guy named Greg who has been down his luck, and God sends down the black sheep of the guardian angel. Not mean she's bad, but more of the fact that she is accident prone. Like she caused Pompeii,
Mhm.
like
Oh,
on accident. She caused that on accident, and they label her the black sheep. And pretty much she is assigned to him. So I pretty much make it a yin yang type of deal. Like she's bubbly, happy, but she's dead, and he's grumpy and mad, but he's alive. So I wanted to play with that for a while, and I got the character designs pretty well. I'm working on the script as we speak, along with the Loud House deal I'm doing with.
yeah. Well, let me tell you, those two ideas sound great. I definitely would. If you were to work on them like an animation company, I would like to throw my hat in there and want to help out. I would. Those sound like good shows to work on.
I mean, for me, Johnny Spook maybe an ongoing deal, but Mike Archangel, I was actually thinking of doing a mini series with them,
Hmm.
something like probably 10 to 12 episodes. That's about it.
Yeah.
But like the show the Over the Garden Wall that Cartoon Network produced about 2 years ago. I wanted to do something like that, and then My Guardian Angel popped up, and the way that idea came to be, I don't know if you've seen this short, but I figure a couple people who are watching this have. It's called Welcome to Hell. It was made by Erica Wester, or I think that's her last name. But the premise was a guy goes to hell and is haunting a guy because the devil tells him to. And it's just so well done. And I was like, why? I want to do the opposite of that, but more of a like a relationship type of deal. And pretty much I just went all at it with these character design. Like Greg went through like 5 different stages of character design. Like I had to change his hair 5 times, his face. Penny, which is the angel, she went through just one change. That's it.
Mhm.
And that's what you have to do when you're a character designer. It's like you sometimes you go through it once, sometimes you go through it 5 times. Like hell, I even heard some people going through it like 20 times before they get a character right.
Yeah, yeah, I know the struggle as well. Uh, Sometimes I get it right the first time, and sometimes I have to make some changes here and there. But yeah, designing characters is fun, and I really wish you the best of luck on those stories.
Thank you, and good luck on yours as well. I mean, everybody, if you're watching this right now, definitely go read Jeff and Taylor because I read a couple of them and I like them. I would actually like to get a copy of that mini one you just recently did.
Yeah. Which mini one? The talking about this one, the bananas.
Actually, it was the recent one you were posting about on Instagram about like a wake up one or something.
Like the sickness. The
Yes.
oh, down with the sickness. That's a bonus comic in my volume 4.
All right. You hear it? You heard it here, people. That is a bonus comic, so definitely go out and get yourself a copy of that.
Let's see if I have any volume 4s left over. I could send you some, or send you a copy.
That would be awesome, man. And I'll probably send in some of the original artwork. I'll probably do some covers for your comic and all that, like variant covers.
Yeah.
All right. What time is it over there where you are?
In Alaska, it's 8:17.
Right now, it is 11:17 for me.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm actually about to actually end this just so I got class in the morning. So it was actually very great talking to you and just getting to know you and also talking Loud House and
Yes.
other stuff as well. It was really great. And for those who actually just watches, even if you watch like 5 minutes of this, thank you again. The support both helps us, helps them with Jeff and Taylor, and it helps me with my original ideas. So pretty much give us a subscribe and pretty much like you'll post like the links to our Instagram pages and all that, right?
Yeah. Do you want this on my channel, or do you just want this on my channel temporarily, and then I download it and give it to you?
Probably let's say you give me a copy of it, I'll put it on my channel, and then you can keep a copy for yourself.
Okay.
That way there's 2 copies of it in case something happens.
All right. I mean, this is live. I think it'll stay in my channel unless you want me to delete it.
Nah, that's fine.
All right. 2 different channels with us. Yes.
Yeah. And probably sometime in the future we can maybe do a art draw, like an art challenge and all that. So maybe keep your eyes on that, people.
Yeah, that would be cool. Uh, and if any of my regular followers are watching this, I'm talking to a person. How amazing is that? I usually talk to myself.
I know, same here.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm about to sign off. So see you later, my design dudes and dudette. Thank you again, Jeff, for just sitting down and just talking to me and just talking Loud House.
All
And
right.
this has been a great first episode of Art Chat. So See you guys later and catch you on the flip side. Bye.
All right, bye. I will stop the broadcast in a matter of seconds. And that was it, guys. All right. Looks like I'm going to keep this video on this channel, so see you guys later. JFM out. Goodbye.